Why? This is the harsh reality of buying sports cards on eBay. Buying sports cards on eBay, along with just cards in general, is just a staple of what the industry has been doing for years. As a buyer, flipper, seller, store shop owner, we have all used eBay once before to look for cards. As a buyer, you may have a few reasons why you shop on eBay for sports cards. One of those reasons is you just want to try and get the card that you really want to add it to your personal collection or your PC. Another reason is you may want to go on there and try to find the best deals or win some cheap auctions and get some steals. Therefore, once you get these cards, you want to check if it's good enough to send out for grading, and then you can get them graded. Hopefully they get PSA 10s and you can flip them. And this reason also applies to what a flipper's mindset is like. As a shop owner, you're also doing the same, right? You would be buying a lot of lots of cards and you can throw them in your showcases at your shop, or you can buy sealed products or just anything really that you can find that will improve your shop inventory. There's a lot of positives when buying sports cards on eBay. You can find anything you want out there and you can get them possibly at a really good deal. eBay will always be here, so you can always go on there and get something that you like. You can also sell on there and make money back or make some profit. And last, it's just fun overall to see what is out there. Some of the most unique and rarest cards you will never ever see in person are listed on there. But one huge downside and negative of buying sports cards on eBay is you end up buying a card or multiple cards in an auction type style, or you just buy it straight up for a specific price. You evaluate and inspect the pictures from that listing of the card, and everything about the pictures and the cards look completely fine, and it doesn't look like it has any blemishes or flaws about it. The description looks good. You know, usually sellers would disclose whether or not the card has a little bend in it, or surface scratches, or whitening on the corners or edges, or any type of damage for that matter. You end up winning the auction or just buy it straight up, and you get the card and then you look at it in person, and when you look closely, there actually is that one or multiple flaws. I just recently bought this select Victor Wembanyama Concourse Hollow off of eBay, and I won it in an auction. This is just one of the thousands of different auctions this very reputable seller slash eBay shop owner has up. I'm not gonna disclose his name, but I'm sure many of you guys have bought from this shop before. This shop has sold over 5 million items and has over 1 million reviews on eBay if you check their profile out. My intention for buying this card, as well as many other Victor Wembanyama Hollow cards, is because I'm trying to get them at good prices, by winning auctions on eBay. I specifically look at the images to make sure there are no flaws. Obviously, it's very tough to really see if there's any flaws or blemishes on the card just based off of a few pictures. You won't actually know until you see it in person. The reason why this troubled me, where I had to make a video about it, is because I ended up getting the card, and I know that when you send a card to get graded, you need to put it in a card saver like this. For example, this is a BCW one. And usually when you send out your cards for grading to PSA, for example, one of the requirements is you need to put the card inside of the card saver without a penny sleeve on it. I ended up putting this penny sleeve on it after the fact, after I got this card, and I put it back in here very carefully. But the reason why I am making this video and I'm troubled about this is because of this specific reason. As I show you guys this card close up, in the bottom left hand corner, there is a very small corner dent or little bend slash fold in it. It is very hard to tell, okay? It is very hard to tell, but let's take it out of the sleeve and show you one more time. Can you guys see it now? Everything else about the card is pristine. It looks really good. Centering wise too, it looks pretty good. Maybe just a little bit top and bottom, top heavy. But for the most part, I was excited to get this card in and winning the auction for $60. This card, among other cards of Victor Wembanyama that I bought, was gonna be going out to PSA to hopefully get Gem Mint 10s so I can flip them. I'm not too sure where this little dent or where this fold came from. This could have been because of how this company shipped the card. The person that was shipping it could have placed this card in this card saver pushed down too far, and then this bottom left corner ended up bending slightly because of that. It was completely packaged nice though. It had, you know, the cardboard on both sides of the card, you know, taped fully around it. Came in bubble wrap and everything, and you would expect that there would be no blemish on the card. But one thing I did was go back to the listing and inspected the images one more time. Remember, they did not include in the description that there was any type of blemish in the first place. Let's go to my computer screen and look at that listing again and try to see if that bend in the bottom left corner is there or not. I blurred out this shop's username so you guys don't know who it is. I don't want to call them out. You know, this is probably just an honest mistake. But as you guys can see here, these are the two pictures, right? They use a scanner of some sort to make sure that the pictures come out as, you know, nice as possible and clean as possible. Lighting could be a little better for sure. As we look at the front of the card here in this picture, before I bid on this auction, I made sure that I looked thoroughly around the entire card, right, to make sure that I didn't really see any blemishes, that the centering of the card looked pretty good, where, you know, it still has a chance to get a Gem Mint 10 with PSA. So if we see here in the bottom left, right, the bottom left, it's very, very hard to even tell if there's a little fold or bend there. There is a little bluish tint just in that little corner, so maybe it is there already before they even threw this auction up or this listing up. It is very hard to tell though. The card does look like it's completely flat and there's nothing wrong with it, right? But it also has to do with the lighting that they use and what they use to take pictures of each one of these cards front and back. Okay, so everything else looks good. Corners look pretty solid. For the most part, they look, you know, really good to me. You know, otherwise I would not have even put a bid on this auction. And then here we can look at the back. Everything looks good as well. All the corners. I mean, there's little like dots over here, but that could just be dust. Who knows, right? You don't know until you get the card in and see it in person. But as we scroll down here to the details. So item description, I blurred out, you know, their name again right here in the first word of the sentence. But you guys may already know who this is because you probably have shopped with them before on eBay. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that they just use this default little description for every one of their auctions, every one of their listings. So they do not accept returns, which is unfortunate. All sales are final. They don't describe any blemishes or any flaws of the card in the description. So it is the buyer's risk to take if they end up auctioning on or bidding on any of these auctions, because if there is a blemish, it's showing that they are not responsible, and they do not also accept returns, so that's also very tough. Now what I'm gonna have to do is just hold on to this card, either relist it on eBay again for like a 5 to 7 day auction and see if I can make my money back. Overall, I spent like a little bit over $60, you know, won the auction at 60, but spent on shipping and tax and all that stuff. So that's just the harsh reality. It's a lesson learned, and I'm sure that some of you guys out there have gone through this before as well. It just sucks knowing that there are companies out there that list all of these you know, cards for auctions every single day, thousands of them, and they use the same description for all of their listings, and they just don't include the flaws, which is kind of like a scam in a way, don't you think? I did report the item to eBay, you know, trying to see if I can get a refund and then hopefully ship this back, but you know, obviously it says that they don't accept returns, so I don't think that's gonna happen. So always, guys, be careful out there when you buy your cards. You know, even though everything looks good in the pictures and it doesn't look like there's any flaws, you guys always have to make sure you look at the condition that they listed in and read the description of the listing as well, because usually very honest sellers would include any defects or flaws in the description before, you know, someone makes a purchase and are unhappy with it. But that was just my little PSA. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with this card. Definitely not gonna go get this graded because this is probably gonna be an 8 or even lower at PSA. Maybe I'll just list it back up on eBay, but of course I'm going to include the flaw in the description and in the title. If you guys didn't already, make sure you guys subscribe. A lot more videos coming. Follow me on my eBay and my Whatnot account where I do sell sports cards, and I'm hoping to do breaks on there soon. Instagram as well, Crazed Cards. Let me know in the comments if anything like this has ever happened to you and what you ended up doing with the card or cards after you received them. It sucks, but we just have to live with the result and figure out what to do next and try to not make the same mistake again. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.